everyone, it's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I don't know what's going on with my Facebook group, but anyways, welcome. I truly do appreciate you joining me today. I'm Diane Evans and I'm from stampinwithdiane.com, and I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So welcome to my YouTube. Like I say, subscribe down below here, hit that bell, or excuse me, if you're joining me on Facebook or Facebook group, I truly appreciate you being here. Remember to make a comment so that I can see different people that are joining as we come along. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear. Maybe I should have a sip of coffee and then maybe I'll be okay. So remember, if you are joining me live and you don't like it when I'm talking with different people, you can watch it on a replay. And then at that point, you can turn around and tell me that you're watching on a replay. Remember that I do come live on a Monday where I do a 3D project or I do a fancy fold card. And today we're going to revisit a card that I did I've done quite a while ago. But, you know, it's always nice to go back and, you know, as soon as you change what you're using, it completely changes the card as well. So we're using some paper that we actually had from last year. Hello, Laura. And hello, Felicia. So anyways, we are going to use it. This is the, oh my goodness, what's it called? It is the Nests of Winter. I had to look it up. Nests of Winter Designer Series paper. So let's go on down to my desktop here and we'll go from there. All right. So this is the Designer Series paper. This did not retire. It did have a stamp set. It did have dies that went along with it. But I thought, you know, it's kind of nice to go back to this. I'm not going to be doing a Christmas card with this. I'm going to do kind of like a just a note, I'm thinking of you card. Like I say, it's a W fold card, and I'll give you the measurements as we go along here. But this is the Designer Series paper. Let's take a look at the other sides of the paper. I got, yeah, and then there's this one too as well. I find this paper is amazing to do some different cutouts and that sort of stuff with. So I'm mainly using this paper and this paper today. I was kind of like I was kind of perplexed what to use actually, but anyways, I'm using those ones. And I'm going ahead and using gray granite because gray granite is one of those colors there. And I thought I'd bring in some shaded spruce. I don't use enough of that shaded spruce on there. So let's go ahead and let's get this W fold card. Now this is, like I say, it's gray granite. It happens to be 4 1/4 by 11, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. So I'll just come in and get a really good little score line on there. I would. Here we go. Hello, France, Michigan. Yes, this Designer Series paper is amazing. Then I have a piece that is 1 and I think this is 1 3/4 by 11 inches, and I've gone ahead and I've scored it at 2 3/4 inches, 5 1/2 inches, and 8 1/4 inches. And then we're just going to go, and this is going to get folded just like this. And this is the inside part. Now this is where the W comes in. So see how this is going to go in here like this, and that looks like a W, right? So that's why it's called a W fold card. So anyways, we're hoping that that's all good. All right, so now isn't this funny? I'm going to go back to here, and if I am on, I think I'm going to end the video on my Facebook group because it is only taking my face, and that's no good. So I'll end that there, the live video there, but I will keep on and do the video here. Weird. It hasn't been on my Facebook group forever and ever. All right, so like I say, this is scored at 5 1/2, and this piece is going to go in here like this, and then we're going to open it up, and it'll be kind of one of those ones that comes up, and you can have different sort of areas with it. Now, I thought what I'd do is I cut this is that paper, this paper here, and let me show you that paper that I used. It's this paper here, and I thought this would be so nice to be on the inside, and I've got a couple of those already cut. So it's like, no, we don't want that one because that one's the same. So it's going to go, we'll have a piece that's like that and another piece that's like that. So these pieces are 4 by 5 1/4, and I will tell you from this designer series paper, I cut 4 1/4, and then I cut the 1/4 inch off of here because I wanted more of the upper part on there. Oh, hello, Marva. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just went off of my Facebook group. I'm having real issues. So I thought this would be nice to have on the inside. And then also I thought I'd even do this on the outside of the card. You're not seeing a lot of this, but you're seeing these pussy willows, right? So let's go ahead and put that on there right now. That kind of paper sometimes is really hard to use in a card, so I thought this would be the best way that I could use this. So this is just going to go on here like this. Like I say, this is, we're kind of going into, not our winter, we haven't even had summer yet, but this will think more, like I always think of pussy willows January, February, but let's go ahead and put those in on the inside there. And that's giving us sort of a landscape sort of look. When I did cut that, I cut here and I cut there, but I had all this piece here, and you're going to see what I'm going to do with that as well. So let's just put that in on there. So I have been on Zooms, it seems like, all morning. So it's always nice to be able to come on to it live. Hello, Maureen. Okay, and then we just put this right here as well. So that's our inside of the card, and then our outside. And then this, like I say, is going to go here. I'm going to put that there and there. That gives us the W. And then at that point, then I can decorate this part. Now, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this right onto the card. And then that way I can decorate from within it. So just going to line this piece up. We're going to kind of eyeball it to make sure that it's kind of in the middle there. Let's see how accurate I am. Oh, don't even know where my ruler went to. That's not a surprise with this on here. Yeah, I'm prepping for my huge BOGO event, and if there's anything that's retiring and that you really want and you didn't get because it's retired and that sort of stuff, that stuff probably is going to be on this list. So we're off by you know what, we're only off by a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it. We're only off by about an 1/8 or a 1/16. Hello, Pam. Hello, Carol. And so far, I have everybody is watching from YouTube. So then I've got this on there, and I'm just going to fold this in and just put it on there. Yeah, this is actually a very old fold, Carol, but it'll give you the idea of what we're going to do, and it's yeah, it just gives a little bit more on there. Okay, so then what I did was I had a bunch of this on there, so I will show you what I did with that. I am coming in on every one of these squares. I am going to come and layer a 2.5 by 2.5 inch. That's a shaded spruce, and this is a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 gray granite. So I have 4 of those. So I'm going to go ahead and layer all of those. And here's today. Where do I post my measurements? My measurements are actually on here. My measurements will be posted when I put it onto a blog. And this one, you know what? I might do this one. It would be the third Thursday of the month. It's a fancy fold card. It's a fancy fold blog. So it goes onto my blog post at that point. And then from this video, it will also be in the, it'll link you to that blog post. So I hope that helps. All right. So like I say, these squares are 2.5 by 2.5, and then the gray granite is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. This is just a regular size card, scored in half, and this is 1 3/4. I'm going to go through it again, and this is scored at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. All right. I know it kind of looks a little off with it going with the shaded spruce at this point, but I think you'll see how I'm going to start bringing in that shaded spruce. Oops, let's just get that. This is why I'm starting to use that seal, because that is a little crooked. I'm going to start go back to the seal, because at least I can take it off. Okay, so, oops, there's the piece that goes on the inside. And there. Then these are the pieces. They're just going to go onto this part here. So I better put my glasses on so that I can get that evened, or even. So we'll just put some there, and let's just put that in the middle of the score line there and there, and then up there and there. Now, if you are not great at getting things even, you could turn around and you could put this like this. I could put this one down here, and then this one in the middle. And you know what? I think that's how I'm going to do this. That was not the original one, but that is how we're going to do this one. Like that. And then, like I say, we can go there and then one up there. One down and one up. Just give a bit of variety, right? Like you could do this all even if you like, or you could do it down, or you could do it where it's not quite down that much. You could do it up and down. But you know what? I kind of did that right up to the top. Let's kind of do it there. I'm going to put this one at the bottom-ish. Oops. Why is it? I should have done that more. I'm going to go back in and take that off, because I'm going to bring this one down. See how I can take that off. And then we're just going to put this back in here, and let's just burnish that on there. There we go. So that's going to add a bit of a look on there. All right, so let's see. Just going back and checking on some comments. If there was any comments. Weird that I'm not. I must have streamed off of Facebook. Well, that's fine. All right. Let's try again. All right. Then remember I said that I had that piece that was in between those two pieces there. That's this piece here. I'm going to use this stuff. So what I did was on 3 of them, I went and I cut out, and I think this is, no, this is a 2-inch circle. Or is it? Yes, it's a 2-inch. Oh, no, that's the 2-inch. This is a 1 3/4-inch circle. So I'm going to cut 3 1 3/4-inch circles. Hello, Susan, and hello, Janet. I don't know know why this is going back and forth. So you must be, Janet, you must be watching from my page, right? Like I say, it just doesn't jive, that's for sure. And then I went and I cut out a 2-inch circle. So we have, oops, that's wrong. This is 2-inch. This is, oh, there we go. This should be 1 3/4 inch. So I need 2 of the 1 3/4 inch. So I'm using up this piece here instead of it just being a dead sort of piece. All right. So this is, whoops, this is a 1 3/4 and a 1 3/4. Now my whole purpose is, what I want to do on here is, this is where I want to put some words. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp "Thinking of You," and that is from the Simply Said. Yes, right. Thanks, Janet. And then I'm going to use this "Thinking of You." And on the front, I'm thinking I'm going to do just a note. So we'll see how that works on there. So I'm going to come in here, and this "Thinking of You," let's come in with, and I hope this is inked up enough. I think so. Let's check it out. I'm going to use my paper piecing mat. Excuse me. And let's just see if I've got this inked up enough. And I'm just going to do it on here. Excuse me. Yep, that'll be dark enough. All right, so on this piece here, I'm just going to do a "Thinking of You." And I think I can do some other stuff on there, so I'm not going to put that on there to begin with. Now, I went ahead and cut out a bunch of those little tiny, these birds. Let's see, where's my favorite one? How can it not even be here? There it is. This is one of my favorites. It's this little sparrow. And you know what? That would have been so nice being on that part. But let's see. It's going to go there. Let's go there. And then we also have one that goes there. So that would have been really nice if I had done that. So that's a 2-inch circle. Let's see if I can fix that. And punch out another 2-inch circle one. Almost used all of that paper up. There we go. And then I'm going to go, is that a 2-inch? Yeah. I'm going to put this right about there, and then I'm going to go back in with that "Thinking of You." And I'm going to see if I can get it in there with that bird on there. So if I have that there, this bird can come out to about there. So I'm going to situate it right up there. There we go. And then this can go right there. So see how that's going to go. And then I also went ahead and I cut out all these other little bits here. So there was some of this that can go behind, or there might be a pine cone that can just go behind. So let's go ahead and start putting some of those on. So this is, so let me just, I'm going to glue those on. Nope, we're going to seal those on, just in case I need to change it. My card is off screen, is it still? My card is showing it's on screen. Is this not on screen, Laura? It's just going to go there. I've got this showing on screen. Let me try again. Oh, is that? So I've got it there. Is that showing on screen, Laura? Way up at the top. Let's see. How's this? Is that going to work? Usually I do it on 0.5. Okay, so this is going to come here. Is that better? It's on screen. Felicia said it was on screen. Anyways, we're just going to go ahead and put that there. Then this is going to go here. And let's put, you know what, this would have been better. Whereas if I did the pine cone down here, and then this one, this is going to go, no, the pine cone's going to go on there. It's here, like that. This is going to go over here. And we're going to raise some of these up. All right, so let's just start putting those on now. Okay. So we're just going to put that there. And maybe this is just going to come a bit behind. Okay, so we'll just glue that on. There we go. Now this one, let's pop up. There. And one here. Oh, that has to go on. It's just going to go on to there. Let's turn around and put that thinking of you on there as well. And we'll put this one on there too. Now, I don't know why this one's my favorite, but I just absolutely love that little guy there. So that's just going to go there. This guy's, like I say, we're getting kind of a different look on here than even what I anticipated. So, but that's good. We're okay with that. There. Whoops. And then we can put this right behind here. This is always the fussy part, right? There we go. That's that. No, we'll leave that guy alone. But this is the part that I don't know exactly what I should be putting on here. We have this. Maybe we'll put that down there with a pine cone as well. Yeah, that'll work. We'll just glue that. And then we'll also stick a pine cone on there. Oh, here we go. Hello, Sharon. Sheila, you're new to the channel. Well, welcome. Thank you. So this will go here. All right. So we have this like that. Now we have to do something with the front of the card. So we have this. Now remember, I've got this. Now this is one of those cards because of it all being bunched up at the top here. This is not one that you're going to be mailing. Now I went and I cut the largest stylish shape out of here. And I went and I cut these birds from one of the designer series paper that's there. But I thought what might be a smart idea is to come in, and we are going to take a blending brush, and we are going to take our gray granite, and a scrap piece of paper, and this is not a good blending brush, but this will work. So I'm coming in with my gray granite, and I just want to take that white off it there. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Say, I've done this years ago. Oh my goodness. Remember that beautiful navy paper with gold? And anyways, that's what I did this card with before. All right, so we're back to having that brought in. So there's this. There we go. I'm going to put that on there. Whoops, we need to just dirty that up a little bit in there, and that kind of takes it so that it's not so stark white there. Okay, so I went and then out of that piece there, I cut a piece that's 2 3/8 from that center piece there, and that kind of adds a little bit there. So let's attach that onto there. Onto there. Remember, if you live in Canada and you want to get involved in a two-tone paper share, I have all the two-tone paper, well, waiting for it to come in my order. But you can get all of the two-tone paper. You can get as many of them as you want. And yeah. Okay, so we're just going to take that, put that in there. And do we want to put maybe, I had so many of these pine cones cut out, so why don't we put some pine cones on here as well? Why not, right? One there, and then maybe another one. Like I say, I've got so many of these cut out, but I think I'll glue some of these. All the birds are, I know. I tend to really like the ones that are like the pool party ones. There we go. All right. So then we're going to go ahead, and this is going to go right there onto the front. But we need to also put our words on there. So I'm going to come in with my beautiful motif, and I'm going to put this just a note. And then this one says thinking of you, right? So let's just leave that there. And so if this is like this, we're going to have to emboss. So let's go here and let's try this. This beautiful motif has this. I love this just a note. Now I could have cut another one of these ones here. Do you think I should do that? Let's see how that'll look. So just a note. Just putting that down just a bit. See how that would work on here. You know what, that's going to drive me nuts too, because there's a bit of a sticky thing there on that pine cone. There we go. it's just going to go there because there was some glue on there. I had to. All right, so let's see. Do we want to do it that way, or do I want to do it embossed? So here, so that's going to go up there, just like that. Let's see. This is not straight, so do I want to do it that way, or do I want to do it embossed? Well, let's try it embossed. So just going to come in. We can make our choice. And I do not know where my take your pick tool, I mean my embossing book is. So let's just clean that off. We're going to come in with our Versamark. Like that. And let's just try this. I think this might be okay too. Just a note. And I'm going to come in with my white embossing powder. Thank you. Let's see, what have I got going for me here? Hello, Melinda. Hi, Rabina. Send her a Facebook. Well, I've got this over here to the side. My goodness. Let me I just wanted to take a paintbrush and just get this off. There we go. Now, you probably didn't see it. It was off screen. Just gonna heat set that and we'll see what it looks like. Hello, Dorothy. Like I say, I'm seeing some Facebook information. I don't see the two of them together. I don't know why that doesn't happen, but that's okay. Let's see how that works. All right, so here we go. So like that. I don't like how I embossed that, but it would be just a note like that. Let's see. Or I kind of like it like this one, I think. Yeah, I think we'll leave it like that. All right, so I've got that popped up quite a bit. So I'm actually going to come and glue this. There. Ooh, and you know what would have been really good on this would be some baker's twine as well. Would have been great behind there. Let's see how this would work. So I just tied that in a bow, and that is just to get, there we go. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to use some glue dots and do this. And we're just going to glue dot that right on the inside of that. And then this part here is just going to go on with a couple of dimensionals. One on top and one at the bottom. Whoops. Welcome, everybody. just a note. Okay, so, and then that can go right there. Let's see. I'd like to get that up just a bit more. There we go. Just a note. So I didn't glue that, but let's do that right now. There we go. And then I wasn't sure exactly what to use for the embellishments, because we don't really have any of, and I thought using shaded spruce would be a really good element to have. So these dots here are the neutral dots. They come in white and they come in black. They come in, this is a pecan pie, and then kind of a very vanilla. So what I thought I'd do is come in with my, there we go, that'll work. Boy, that is, you talk about a bad end. I'll just do that on there. Let that dry just a bit. And we'll come in with a figure pick tool. I really like how that turned out on the inside. Look at that. I'm wondering, if I do this, do you see more of the card here if I do it like this? I think so. I hope so. Anyways, I'm just going to come in with those gems. One there. One there. And one down here on the, right here. There, we can change up those colors any way that we want. All right, so let's go back there. So here's the card, and it's a W fold card, so you can see the W. Like that's an M, that's the W part. And or it's an M fold card. Anyways, that's using that beautiful designer series paper. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did like it, make sure you give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate it when you do that. Remember, I will be live tomorrow at 4:30 for my regular technique. And also I'm reaching out if you have any kind of a card that you'd like to see, or any kind of a technique that you'd like to see, to reach out to me. Thank you. Remember to that if you do live in Canada, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I have lots of different things that I do give to my customers as we go along. Also, if you would like to look at the opportunity of Stampin' Up, remember to reach out if you live in Canada. All right, you guys, see you tomorrow at 4:30 Pacific time, and remember to create because it's great for the soul. Bye for now.